Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It is the 1st of July, 2022. I hope that you're healthy today and that you're safe. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're getting ready to enjoy a long, restful weekend. That's what I'm going to try to do. Even though right now I'm in Los Algodones, Mexico, getting the rest of my teeth fixed, getting my grinders done here. I should be back Sunday though, but blessings upon your family and yourself. And I hope that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing and health is being met today. Blessings upon those that work in healthcare, and those who are the first responders on every day and every weekend trying to save lives, and those who also pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks clean and disease free, and those also that make deliveries for our convenience, and double blessings on the men and women trying to help and rescue and recover the children who are victims of child molestation and pedophilia, and the victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, and child prostitution, the victims of human trafficking and sex slavery, and double curses on the perverts, the perpetrators, and the profiteers who are out here trafficking in this human misery and evil. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, even on this weekend, with no roof over their head. And millions more around the world in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, business. It is Friday, July 1st. As of today, the Knicks have a new starting point guard. As expected, Jalen Brunson signed with the New York Knicks, and he will be given the keys to run the Knicks. This is the first time that the Knicks have had a steady professional level point guard that's not in there, that's not past their prime or not too young. So the Knicks do have, as I always state, a point guard. His name is Deuce McBride, but apparently they think it's too early or he's too young to hand the keys to. Okay, I may or may not agree, but it's irrelevant. It's what they think. That's fine. So they wanted to get a guy that's ready to go right now, as far as they're concerned, and run the team as a point guard. Hence Jalen Brunson. Now that he's a Knick, I don't want to hear from those we shoulda, coulda, woulda got. This is who we got. Support the guy we got. Or just, go somewhere else with your whining. Okay, I'm just want to tell y'all who out there in that part of Knicks Nation that's going to coulda, woulda, shoulda, sign whoever. This is what we got. And I'm glad. I mean, he's not my first choice, but I'm glad we got him, because the difference between having a point guard, a real point guard, and not having one, it can be seen in a couple of areas. Just to illustrate it very easily. There's various degrees of opinion on DeAndre Ayton, but most people agree he's going to get big money in this offseason. And why? Well, he was a number 1 overall pick by the Phoenix Suns, and they have been to the finals with him. Now, the difference between DeAndre Ayton and Mitchell Robinson is guys like Chris Paul. If Mitchell Robinson was playing with Chris Paul, the roles could be reversed. That's the difference between having a real point guard and not. Over the last few seasons, since we've gotten Emmanuel quickly, we've gotten glimpses of what it looks like to have a point guard. Or since we acquired Derrick Rose, and I mean glimpses from him too, because he's been hurt a lot over the last 2 seasons. But you get glimpses of what it's like to have a point guard. That's all we've been having for a while now. Glimpses. Okay. When Obi Toppin is running the floor and he's ahead of the pack often because of his speed, and often he is not being seen. That's the difference between having a real point guard and not. We've been having many players at that position that are either too old, too slow, or just out of position at point guard. Not anymore. We have a real point guard. When that means that he will always, 100% of the time, be dribbling with his head up and he's looking down the floor to see if there's opportunities to score an easy basket. That's a point guard. That's Jalen Brunson. He has, of course, limitations. He's only 6'1". His arms are short. He's not very quick. Okay. He fights like heck on defensive end. I mean, he does. He's not a matador defense type of guy, but he's just physically limited. He's not gotten the fastest hip movement, as far as those things. But he is going to give you 100% on every play. The thing I like best, or the area of Jalen Brunson's game. Now, here's a lot that he has. He has tremendous footwork. He looks like he comes out of the DeMar DeRozan school of footwork. That's how really, really high level Jalen Brunson's footwork is offensively. He really, and to me, DeRozan is, in this generation, he is the dictionary as far as footwork is concerned, offensively. That's DeMar DeRozan. And Jalen Brunson's he's a disciple out of that school because he is really good with his footwork. Okay. But, and he can shoot the rock. Obviously, he's a point guard. He can pass the ball. But the thing I like the most about him is his mental makeup. His grittiness, very tough. Very, very tough. This ain't going to be a nick him up and get him out type of dude. He's not going to sit because he hurt his hangnail or whatever. This is a tough kid. Intelligence. This is the thing. Never bet against a guy that plays with a high IQ. Jalen Brunson plays with a high IQ. What does that mean? High IQ. A high IQ player can read a play before it develops. A high IQ player can maneuver a play to get to what he wants. To get to what he wants in terms of maneuvering the players offensively to get the best basket, the most efficient way. A high IQ player knows the plays of the other team and can anticipate what's coming and can warn his teammates, especially when he's in charge, like Jalen Brunson's going to be. A high IQ player will see what you're doing successfully against them and make mental adjustments on the fly. It's like having a coach on the floor. Okay, that's high IQ. It's like having a coach on the floor. And so this is what you want, you see, because in the playoffs, it's constant adjustments. Jalen Brunson's a playoff style point guard. We got a good one here, y'all. We did. We really did good. Leon and them. Of course, I'm always giving Leon the props. The Don. Had this set up from the beginning. Okay? Had this set up from the beginning. I read somewhere a quote. I'm not sure which one, if it was Ian Shams, Woj, or it might even been Stein. But I read this quote where Jalen Brunson's father, Rick Brunson, said that Jalen been wanting to sign with the Knicks. That he and Jalen weren't sure how they were going to get the money that was necessary, the $20 million a year that was necessary. But and I understand that because it's not their business how the Knicks do their business. It was just their business. The Knicks were going to have to be ready, and Leon made it happen. Nerlens Noel, Alec Burks, no longer Knicks. Kemba Walker, no longer Knick. Jalen Brunson is a Knick. Okay? So that's what's making me excited about having Jalen Brunson. And then having him from now, which means he goes through the summer. He's going to get with his teammates. He's going to be in training camp, which leads me to another thing. Leadership. This kid's, if you don't know anything about him, if you ask anybody that has known about him since he was in high school, he's a leader. He leads his team to wins. 2 national titles at Villanova. high school championships. And he comes to the Dallas Mavericks as a second round pick, getting a few minutes a game, his rookie year, turns it into 16 points, 5 assists last year, and wins without Luka Doncic. It's to the point where I liked him playing with Luka. But then there were many games where Luka was out and he would take over. Jalen Brunson would just take over and win the game, help them win the game with his IQ, with his defense, leadership, and of course, bucket getting. He can get buckets. So we're really moving forward today. This is a big day for us, Knicks Nation. We got a point guard. And while I'm still Deuce time, and I'm going to tell you something, this is going to be a really good situation for Deuce because Deuce is 21. Jalen Brunson 25. Okay. Deuce going to be 22 in early September, and Brunson going to be on August 31st. He's going to be 26. This is a perfect scenario because you got the point guard and you got the heir apparent. And Quickly is more, I don't count Quickly as a pure point. I mean, he could play it. And I felt like he should have probably got a chance to run at it, before this happened, but whatever. But he's more of a combo guard. Quickly's a combo guard. And I think it looks to me, from my observation, that the Knicks believe Quickly is a bench piece. They're keeping Quickly as that Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, head of mob deep bench piece. Now, speaking of that, what's next? Well, the Knicks cleared $35 million in cap space this week. They used 25, as we said, to get Jalen Brunson. Well, look, I heard maybe it was 26 or 27, or let's call it 27, to get Jalen Brunson. Might be a little more, might be a little less than that, whatever. That means they're going to have approximately 9-10 million left. Now, they did sign Isaiah Hartenstein, which I did not see coming. Hartenstein is he's a solid NBA backup. Young, 24 or something, 25. Solid NBA backup. High IQ guy. The best backup players make you think almost like they should be starters, even though they shouldn't be. And the reason is because when you look at their numbers and and people like to do this, I don't like to, but they like to project out over 36 minutes what their numbers are. He look like a starter's numbers. Okay. But he's not a starter. The reason they come off the bench is because they're really good in spurts. And this is exactly what we need because you got Mitchell Robinson coming back. And I told y'all to stop messing with Mitch. Some of y'all, we don't need somebody else. We need somebody else. But Mitchell Robinson, blah, 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 blah. Mitchell Robinson is going to be our starting center. And I'm glad he's going to have a point guard. And we're going to be good to go. But anyway, Isaiah Hartenstein backing up Mitch Rob is good. Now, I like Jericho Sims. I thought he would be the backup, but apparently the Knicks are, to me, developing, but making a run at the playoffs at the same time. See, a lot of people are talking about how we're going to be losing as part of development. That's, again, Knick haters that they're just used to hating the Knicks and, whatever. But, I had so much fun yesterday roasting the Nets. Me and Jay Ellis and Ryan G and Lee. This brother Lee, man, I just my day was rough yesterday, personally. But after that time with them, I was laughing so hard. But anyway, the Nets. Anyway, where was I? So yes, so we're gonna have backup as Hartenstein's gonna be a backup. Jericho Sims now is gonna be behind Hartenstein, and so they look like, because even though we're young, they have experience. So, like, RJ's going to be in his 4th season. Mitch is in his 5th season. Obi's in his 3rd. IQ's in his 3rd. Of course, Brunson is now, I think this is Brunson's 4th season. Yeah, obviously he got an extension. This is his 4th season, or his 5th season. And then you got Grimes also in his 2nd season with Deuce. So we got enough experience, actually, and been under Tom Thibodeau, going to push this thing a little bit. Okay. Now, what happens with Julius Randle? Well, I'm tired of talking about trading him. I do want them to trade him, but they're not going. I don't think they're going to, and the reason I don't think they're going to now that I'm looking at it, unless Leon pulls something out of the hat, is one of the best attributes about Leon Rose that is underappreciated by Knicks Nation, and y'all need to recognize. Stop looking at media and recognize what you got. He is not going to get taken in a deal. He's not taking no shorts. Okay? If you from New York, you can appreciate that. He is never taking shorts. Ever. Okay? So when you got a dude on your side that you know is going to make the best deal for you, and if he ain't get the deal, he's walking away, you in good shape. You starting off right there in good shape. Not only that, having a vision to see a couple of seasons ahead and being prepared to be flexible and having moves at your disposal that you've already predisposed. That's big time. Big time. Big time we got right now. Okay. So with that, I don't know if he's going to get the right deal to trade Julius now. Okay. Because he's not taking no shorts on Julius. He's going to get back what he wants. I'm not sure what he has in mind. I'm sure it involves a first round pick, but this is Leon. Okay. So he's probably he's not getting the value he wants right now. All right. If he does, he'll make the deal. But he may not get it. I hope he does right now, but he won't. So my thing is they're probably going to try to build Julius up and trade him at the deadline. Or wait till next summer. But they're trying to build up his value right now. Okay. And so, unfortunately, that means Obi's going to come in with IQ and lead Mobb Deep again, which Obi's not going to complain. But I think you're going to start hearing some groans from his camp because this is Obi's third season. He's eligible for extension after next season or next season. He's eligible, him and IQ. So you're going to start hearing some groans from their camp because they need some more minutes. You know, okay, first year you got to play the Thibodeau game or kill the rookie. But then this past season, it was getting frustrating until they finally sat Julius down at the end of last week of the season and let Obi go off for 35 and 42. But I don't know. You're going to hear some groan because he's going to need minutes. So I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, Thibodeau is really, if you want to play this smart, you play him 24 minutes each. You split the time at the power forward. You play them both 24 minutes each. Okay, that's about. It ain't got to be that even, but I'm saying in that vicinity, you got to split the time at the power forward spot. That's what you got to do. To me, if you know, in order to make this fair and functional. Okay, that's one thing. There's another move coming though. They got about. You know what? Maybe they don't. I don't know what they got as far as cap space because they did sign Hartenstein 2 years, $16 million. So that's $8 million. They may have used up their cap space, but that don't mean nothing because they still got Derrick Rose's contract, Taj Gibson's contract, which they'll probably waive Taj Gibson and bring him back. They still got who else am I missing? They got Derrick Rose's 1 year deal. They got Taj Gibson's. Oh, and they got Evan Fournier. I think a move is coming for Fournier. Now, this is the thing. I was thinking about Fournier yesterday. Now, ideally, Fournier would come off the bench in the Mobb Deep. He would be very good coming off the bench with Mobb Deep. He would. If you think about that, if you have coming off your bench now, IQ, Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, and Cam Reddish with Deuce McBride coming off your bench. Okay, that's a tremendous second unit. Okay, because you'll have Deuce would be the only defender, or Deuce and Cam would be your two biggest defenders in that small ball lineup, and then you have Hartenstein as well. You still have a tremendous bench unit right there. Because you want to start Grimes. Grimes should be starting unless they get another wing. And I don't know who they could get that I could think of that I would start over Grimes. It would have been DeJounte Murray, but that was not going to happen. But without that, I don't see nobody that we're going to get that's going to start over Grimes. I've been wanting Grimes to be a star. I was thinking of Grimes as a starter when we drafted him. Not in his rookie year, but eventually. Now is eventually. Okay, he needs to start now. The defense that he brings when he gets regular reps as a starter and with the starting unit from training camp, you're going to see a tremendous shooter. Okay, plus the defense, plus the ball movement. The ball doesn't stick in his hands. Okay, so high IQ, right? So Brunson would need a guy like that, a tough defender next to him that they could switch, and that guy could be guarding the middle of the paint, the middle of the floor, the point of attack. And so Grimes should be starting. Unless they were to get, like we had talked about, a guy like, which is now dead, like Miles Bridges. That's not happening. He just cost himself a lot of money. I mean, I don't even know. He's going to have a lot of damage repair. He spent this whole year building up his value, betting on himself. And just before he crosses the finish line, he gets arrested for domestic abuse. I mean, he just cost himself a lot of money, man. So the Knicks ain't going to touch him. Hardly anybody going to touch him. Okay. He would have been great there at the 3 and then move RJ to the 2, but that's not going to happen now. So forget Miles Bridges. So you're going to have Grimes as your starting 2. All right. So you're going to deal with Grimes, RJ, Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle. You're going to have IQ, Obi, Deuce, Cam, Hartenstein, and Fournier on your bench. Now, I asked the gentleman that was on Nick of Time with us last night, Lee. I forgot what he writes for. I'm sorry, Lee. I forgot what he writes. But he's a sports writer for a platform. Nice guy. Smart guy. Like him a lot. Had fun last night. But I asked him, did he think Evan Fournier would take a bench role if asked without an attitude? And even he was hedging a little bit because I think it's 50-50. He might or he might not. Now, they would have to approach him now and tell him, you're going to be coming off the bench this year. They're going to have to approach him now and say that. Because you don't want to wait till training camp and break that on him. You want to tell him now. Why? Because now if he says, I'm not doing that, trade him. Quick. Okay, and Leon could do that. Or if he says, fine, I'll do whatever it takes for the team to win and mean it, start Grimes. Grimes is your starting 2 guy. And then you move on from there. Okay? Because Fournier is a shooter. We can't deny that. Obviously, he broke the Knicks record for 3-pointers last year. But he's not a defender. He's a high IQ player, but he's very weak on defense. He's very weak on defense, but he's a big time shot maker when his shot is on, big time shot maker. Okay. So I would be for trading him, and I think the Knicks would too. I think they would, but I'm sensing, I don't know what's going to happen next. I do believe very strongly Quentin Grimes is going to be our starting 2 guard, and he needs to be. So the backcourt of Grimes and Brunson, I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be underrated, but I like it a lot. That's going to be really good. And then to have Emmanuel Quickly and Deuce McBride backing them up, and then to have Obi Toppin, and then you have Evan Fournier. I like our team. I like our team. Hartenstein, I like our team. Especially now, you're going through a training camp where everybody should know their role. The only couple of things that need to be ironed out, which, like I said, Leon's got another move coming. I don't know what the move is. It's not going to be like getting Kevin Durant or anything. No NBA 2K move. But there's going to be another move coming. And I'm not sure what it is. That's why I'm wondering if they're going to trade Fournier. Cam's name has been coming up a lot. I mean, if you've been paying attention to Knicks news, Cam Reddish's name has been coming up a lot. Too much to me. But his name is, I don't know if it's teams calling about him or if the Knicks are dangling him. But his name is coming up a lot. I don't like that. I don't like that. But so that may be a move that's coming. And they're not going to, I don't believe that Leon is going to just trade Cam Reddish for a pick. Cam Reddish would be a sweetener. And the only two contracts that the Knicks need to move that are problem contracts in terms of the toughest ones to move right now are Randall and Evan Fournier. Derrick Rose's contract is expiring. It's an expiring deal. So they should be able to move that if they need to. That's why you don't hear me talking about Rose. Rose is going to be 34. And you hear me talking about Grimes starting. And they got Jalen Brunson and Emmanuel Quickly and Deuce McBride. And I know people are going to be sleeping on Deuce right now because people can't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday. But let me tell you something. Wait till the summer league. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave that there. Wait till the summer league. And then coming into training camp, it's going to be interesting. So, but Jalen Brunson is your starter. And then minutes behind him at point guard. It's going to be interesting. But anyway, Derrick Rose, I think, would probably be traded. I mean, and the reason I say that is because it's $14 million. Why is that? He is the backup really sometimes because he's been hurt both times he's come to the Knicks 2 years ago. And then last year, since he got him from Detroit, he got COVID and he got hurt. And then last year he got hurt. He's 33 going on 34. These are what happens when you get to that age and a high level athlete like Derrick Rose. He's going to come back, but he's going to get hurt again. There's always going to be something. At $14 million, so somebody's going to take that deal on. And he's going to be some playoff team's guy to come off the bench for 15, 20 minutes. Okay. And he should be. And he's going to be expiring. So he's going to create cap space. So I'm thinking move is coming involving Derrick Rose. And probably Evan Fournier. And they probably using Cam as a sweetener. Because, I don't know if they're going to get what they want. Julius, of all of those players, Rose, Fournier, Cam, Julius. Julius is the most seasoned pro. He's the only all-star, all-NBA dude, or has the ability to become one in that crew. So he's the most valuable piece as far as trade value. So if Leon's not going to get what he wants for him, he's probably going to hold on to him until he does. Okay. And you're going to try to build up his value so he can trade him at the highest value. And I'm thinking this is by the All-Star break. Because, Obi is being stifled every minute he's not starting. He needs to be starting. Okay. He needs to be. So, we'll see what happens, but there's another move coming. I don't know what it is. I don't know if we're going to find out about it this weekend or during the course of the week. But there's another move coming. And we're about to find out what it is. Leon's got something else up his sleeve. But we'll see what happens. But the Knicks are in good shape. I like our team. Our team is in 100% better position this Friday than we were this past Monday. And that's a good thing. In about a week, a little over a week, the Summer League starts. It's going to be cool. It's going to be good to watch. So we're going to be covering that. We're going to be covering the Summer League. So it's going to be good. I'm not going to be in Las Vegas, but I'm going to be in DC for the Summer League. On, July the 14th, we are officially transitioning to Orlando, Florida, to remain. And so that's coming to busy summer this year. But the Knicks got Jalen Brunson. The Knicks are in good shape. We got our starting point guard. Controversy over. Let's move forward. Please enjoy your weekend. Shalom.